Hello.
Hello, we're Supergrass.
Hi.
I'm Danny.
I'm Gaz.
My name's Rob.
I'm Mick Quinn.
We're here at Amoeba Records.
And we're doing What's in My Bag. There's a programme called Desert Island Discs in the UK. It's on Radio 4. And sort of actors and activists and all sorts of different sort of well-known people talk about their favourite 10 songs to have on a desert island. And I listened to David Byrne's one the other day. I was on the aeroplane listening to it. And he played this song by this artist who's called Tom Z. And he's like this kind of old Brazilian guy. I don't really know much about him, but it was like, this song was brilliant. And he said there was a type of name of the way they did music. So each person in the band was just playing one note, and it was kind of made this really weird Brazilian kind of rhythmical thing. And it was just really cool. And I thought, I'm going to get some stuff by Tom Z. But I don't really know if this got the song I listened to, but there was only one album here. And he's kind of like a sort of Brazilian activist. And I think David Byrne signed him in the late 70s, no, in the 90s. And he kind of resurrected him a bit. And he's 88 years old now, I think, doing music.
This is a cool band broadcast.
Before the end of me and you.
It's a good record. It's a really good sound. I love the sort of production of it. I love the sort of, the instrumentation and the sort of synthesizers and her voice. There's a great song, I Found the F. Yeah, I Found the F, which is really kind of cool. Kind of goes on lots of playlists.
My first item is this attractive hat. And this, I found out, I didn't recognize it when I first saw it, but it's the camping park from Friday the 13th.
Excuse me, how far is Camp Crystal Lake from here?
Which is the first horror movie I ever saw when I think I was about 8 years old. And we were staying with some friends of our family. And we'd gone over and they had cable, but the parents had all gone out. So we got onto cable and found Friday the 13th.
Midnight Cowboy. I mean, it's a great film, but the soundtrack, I think it's compiled by John Barry, and it's just fantastic. It's very kind of eclectic, and there's all sorts of weird and different sort of soundtracks within it. We've got the Fred Neil, everybody's talking, but there's also the bit where John Voight goes into this kind of nightclub, and it goes very Velvet Underground and very painfully trendy late 60s kind of Andy Warhol kind of scene, the factory. And I can't remember what track it is, but it's a fantastic psychedelic track that it's very, very trippy. And that's probably my favourite bit of the soundtrack. But it's just a great listen all the way through. There's sort of really out there kind of rock and roll on there and syrupy stuff.
I'm going through a bit of a Harry Nilsson thing at the moment, so...
Now let me get this straight. You put the lime in your coconut, you drink 'em both up. Put the lime in the coconut, you drink.
We used to, his song Jump Into the Fire. Jump Into the Fire, we used to use that as intro music sometimes when we went on stage. It was just quite driving and...
He's just quite a fascinating character, isn't he, really?
Yeah.
When he kind of lived quite fast. He sort of burnt himself out.
He did. He had a few months with John Lennon. Yeah. They sort of burnt each other out.
He had that album, was it Pussycats or something? Where it was kind of mainly covers, but it was apparently the sessions were just like insane, and they were kind of out screaming each other into the microphone, and both sort of lost their voices. Too much cocaine.
Many rivers to cross.
Guitar Freakouts by The Ventures. I don't know much about. I think it's instrumental, and it will just be quite cool. I think it will have some quite mad. Actually, somebody who works here walked past as I was putting it in my bag and said, "It's great." But then I guess they do that. They do that quite a lot, right?
I was asking about the Joe Burt, what are they called? The Joe Burt Sisters or something. They're like a gospel sort of band, but they have like 80s sort of dance sort of reference to them as well. But I asked him about that, and he was like, "Hey, loads of people have been asking me about this record." Oh God, sorry about the accent.
Great accent. It's really authentic.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like one of those sort of quite mad, seminal sort of songs. Anyway, but they didn't have it, but he knew about it all. Everyone knows so much here.
I've got a T-shirt, and it is Physical Graffiti, Led Zeppelin. So apart from it being a white T-shirt, and it's so hot in LA, I need white T-shirts. This is really cool because I've been listening to band chronologies in my time off ago, and I kind of started with Led Zeppelin a few weeks ago. And I think Physical Graffiti was when they were still kind of really firing on all cylinders. I think it was a great album. I love the keyboards on it. I love the fact that they'd kind of brought in more keyboards at that point. They really started using the clavs and the...
Is that John Paul Jones?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Did you know he was the church organist for his...
his local church?
That was his first gig.
With the foot pedals and everything?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But obviously it was... stood him in good stead.
Reggatta de Blanc by The Police. I remember my brother buying this when it came out, and I must have been about 7 years old. And him and all his mates had dyed all their hair blonde and the whole full works, but you know, you kind of go through The Police and they become annoying after a while, and then you can laugh at Sting doing all his mock kind of reggae singing and stuff. But then you go back to the record and you kind of listen to the energy of it and just how absolutely crazily fast they're playing on there. And there's been periods when we've been recording and sort of Danny's been flagging in the studio and I'll surreptitiously put some Police on. And because Danny's really competitive, he just sort of listens to Should Coco and goes absolutely crazy for takes and stuff. But it's the last track on there, No Time, which is just so incredibly fast. And it just reminds me of Supergrass. It's a three-piece band just going, you know, back for Should Coco, just really going hell for leather.
I got Axis Boulder's Love because I love this album, but I haven't got it on vinyl. This reminds me a lot of when we started the band and we were living... when we started the band, we lived in this little row of cottages and we all sort of had different ones a bit, you know. It was a bit like the Beatles or something, you know, we're all in each other's pockets. Music was so heavily played all the time, and this was... I don't know, I just love this album. Really like the track, We Don't Have to Wait Till Tomorrow. It's such a cool track. It's nice to get that, and it's got such a good cover.
I had a big phase of being into Curtis Mayfield. Like, you know, I was, thought I'd sort of checked out all the records, but I didn't recognise this. And it has a song on the back, "So in Love," that sort of means a lot to me and my wife. And you know, when we got married, it was like one of the tracks that we sort of wanted on the sort of party list. But it kind of it means a lot to us. And I've known that track for years, but I didn't know it came from this album, so I must be listening to it on some kind of old compilation or something.
A couple of books here, and I don't really know an awful lot about them. They're kind of classics. I got Of Mice and Men, and I got The Catcher of the Rye. This is going to count as one of my choices. And the reason is, I think over the last few years, I'm so aware of how bad I am with literature, do you know? I don't really know, like when you're in a quiz and stuff and those literature questions come up, I just never really know what anyone's talking about. So over the last few years, I've been trying to read kind of the classics, you know, or some of them, probably like one a year. But it's a start anyway. So yeah, that's me and literature.
I said I'd bet $1,000 that Jesus never sent old Judas to hell. I still would too if I had $1,000. I think any one of the disciples would have sent him to hell and all, and fast too, but I'll bet anything Jesus didn't do it.
Both those books we did at school, I'm sure. Sorry.
I didn't
That's proper
listen.
O-level syllabus.
I didn't listen. I don't
Mice and
know.
Men. In fact, my daughter just did that at school.
Got a windmill, got a little shack on it, and a chicken run.
Got rabbits to it?
Well, I could easily build a few hutches, and you could feed them alfalfa.
You damn right. You goddamn right I could.
Nick Drake.
Ah,
Again, you were getting into this.
that
you-
was one of my chronologies.
Oh, was it? So I was kind of a latecomer to Nick Drake, I guess. I mean, I kind of was aware of him, but never really sort of entered into the world of it. And even now, I mean, I can only do it in very short bursts because it's just too visceral, and I start going into very dark places. But it's just, there's such a beauty to it. I mean, the string arrangements on some of it are just breathtaking. I mean, just I don't know where that came from, but just like the way he plucks the guitar, it's just impossible to emulate. It's just a total one-off, and it's such a tragedy that, you know, that he's not here or he didn't carry on.
An all-night shows in summertime.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for
Merci
coming in.
beaucoup.
Thanks for having us.
Amoeba.